I'm not a man of words. I've never stood on grand stages, never wore sharp suits, or gave catchy speeches. I believe greatness is not built by shouting. It is built by showing up every day, when no one is watching, and doing what must be done. Today, I will speak. Not for fame, not for fortune, but so someone, somewhere, who feels small and invisible, can realize. It's not where you start, but how fiercely you rise. This is the story of a boy who grew up with nothing but questions, and one day became the man who reshaped an entire industry. I was born in 1966, in a remote, poor village in China's Anhui province. Our house had no electricity, our shoes had more holes than soles, and our dreams, they were often too fragile to even whisper. I lost my parents at a young age. My brother and sister, barely grown themselves, raised me. And in that silence, I learned two things. Pain teaches you to grow. Silence teaches you to listen. I didn't grow up wanting to be rich, just didn't want to be helpless. When I was in school, we had one shared textbook among 3 students. I would finish my field chores, come home tired, but I would study under a kerosene lamp late into the night. I remember one night the light flickered off, no oil. I sat in the dark and whispered to myself, someday I'll bring power not just to this room, but to the world. In 1983, I got accepted into Central South University, majoring in metallurgical physical chemistry. It wasn't just a university. To me, it was a rocket launch pad, a place where a village boy learned to think like an engineer, to ask what if the world could run differently. I had no money for books, so I borrowed. I had no mentors, so I watched others and taught myself. Every formula I learned, every machine I touched, I thought, how can this serve people who live where I once lived? I later earned my master's degree from the Beijing Non-Ferrous Research Institute. It was there I started working on batteries, tiny cells that could store energy, power, light, power dreams. Most saw batteries as a technical product. I saw them as silent heroes of the future. I didn't know then, but that obsession would become the center of my life. In 1995, I did something crazy. I quit my stable job with no investors, no safety net, and started my own company. We called it BYD, Build Your Dreams. Not because it sounded cool, but because that's all I had. A broken childhood, a dream, and the audacity to build. We started with 20 employees in a small warehouse in Shenzhen. Our goal? Make rechargeable batteries cheaper, faster, better, in a world ruled by Japanese tech giants. Everyone said, "You're mad. You have no patents, no big backers." But I had something else, relentless discipline, and the ability to do more with less. Couldn't afford automation. So we trained thousands of young Chinese workers to hand-assemble batteries faster than machines. Well, that was our innovation. And slowly, our batteries powered Nokia phones, then Motorola, then the world. But that wasn't enough. Because one night, while walking home, I saw traffic choking the city. Fumes, noise, chaos. And I thought, what if all of this ran on clean power? No noise, no smoke, no fuel. People laughed. You make phone batteries? You want to build cars now? I didn't respond. I just worked. In 2003, we bought a failing car company, Qinchuan Auto. We had never made a single car. But I believed energy and transportation are not separate stories. They are one. We built our first electric cars in silence. The doors creaked. The range was poor. The market mocked us. But I knew revolutions are not built on perfection. They were built on persistence. While others spent billions on advertising, we spent our nights in factories fixing brakes, recalibrating engines, redesigning systems. In 2008, while the global auto market was crashing, a man named Warren Buffett visited BYD. He saw something, not in our balance sheet, but in our belief, invested $232 million. That was the world's first real nod to what we had built. Years later, BYD became the world's largest EV maker. And even then, I didn't celebrate. Because my mission wasn't to sell cars. It was to make clean energy available to everyone. Today, BYD doesn't just make EVs. We make solar panels, energy storage, electric buses, monorails. We are building cities that breathe. Transportation that listens to the planet. But if you ask me what I'm most proud of, it's not the valuation. It's this. When I see a BYD electric bus in a small Chinese town, carrying school children to class, it's running without smoke, without noise, I smile, because I see myself in those children. I know. Somewhere in the back seat, a kid is dreaming. Maybe he doesn't have parents. Maybe he studies by candlelight. But now he rides toward a cleaner, brighter future, and I helped build that road. I have never sought fame, never wanted the spotlight. I stayed close to my machines, my team, my thoughts. I was never the loudest man in the room. But maybe, just maybe, I helped change how that room is powered. Can you guess who I am? I am Wang Chuanfu, founder of BYD. The boy who once studied in the dark, now building the future in light. I didn't just build a company. I built a way forward. For those who dare to dream, even when no one believes in them yet.